What's going on? I'm going to answer 3 different basics questions today, stuff that I get asked all the time. First one being, how do you limit speed? Second one being, how do I actually get paid? How do people pay me? Invoicing and all that kind of stuff. And the third being, do I offer public IPs, like static IPs? So the first one being limiting speed. I actually had this question a bunch when I was starting because obviously you need to do it. You can't just let people go ham on the network and use as much bandwidth as they want. Got to be able to limit them somehow. There's a whole bunch of different ways to do this. You can do this in the router. I know some MikroTik stuff does it. I use Ubiquiti, and it's actually really easy to do in Ubiquiti, so I'm going to show you that. I have it set up kind of not right now. It works, but it's not really the best way to do it. I have it set up in the sector radio. It's right here at the bottom of the network tab, traffic shaping. All you have to do is go in and hit add and punch your speeds in. Now be mindful, this is in kilobits per second, not megabits per second. So 1 megabit per second is 1,000 kilobits per second. There's also some, when you get into kibibits and kilobits and all kinds of different, different measurements of data, the numbers aren't exactly that kind of clear cut, but we're going to go with that. So if you want to limit somebody to 1 meg, you would do 1,000 in here, like that. And yes, I went and checked. And then down here, so ingress, data coming in to the radio, egress, data going out. So this would be your download speed, the way I understand it at least. Oops. You can turn that on and off separately, which is kind of cool. And then 1,000. And then you hit OK, and there you go. You're done. Yep, it's that easy. You just hand jam the shit in there and hit OK. You can also do some kind of cool stuff like burst. The way I understand burst is, you notice that's in kilobytes. So if you want to allow somebody to do full speed just as fast as their radio can do for, say, 100 kilobytes, whatever that says, then you'd put 100 in here. If they go download a 200 kilobyte file, they would get 100 kilobytes, half of it, as fast as the radio could. I've heard it's not good to do this, but I've done this since day one. So, I mean, your mileage may vary. The way I have it set up, 30 megs is what I limit people to in the radio. And then they get a burst of 5,000 K. That's just how I do it. You can set it up however you want, but that's how you limit speed. It's traffic shaping. It's super easy in Ubiquiti radios. The problem though is, so this is set to 30 megs, right? Being as this is 30 megs on the sector, if I have 2 houses pulling 15 megs, that's your 30 megs. Theoretically, that should cause big problems, but it hasn't for me. So this is all getting ripped out. I know I've been saying this shit for months, but soon, theoretically, this should all be getting ripped out. So I'll set it up the correct way then. But for now, this actually has worked fine for me. It's been like this since day one. So, whatever. We roll with it. Are you still recording? Thank you. I love you, Reaper. The correct way to do it is in the CPE. Every individual house should be traffic shaped individually. This is my house radio, hence the creative name, I know. It's the same thing. You go in the network tab and you click traffic shaping. Same exact deal. It even looks the same. Everything's exactly the same. So that's the correct way to do it. Do it that way. You would go in here. I sell 25 megs and I, under promise and over deliver. So I would do that kind of thing, in here, not in the sector radio. Yep. That's how easy it is to do traffic shaping in Ubiquiti. How to do it in all the other ways there is to do it, I don't really know. I've never messed around with MikroTik. I've never done Cambium or Mimosa or a little bit. See the video. I don't use that stuff, so I'm not real sure, but I'm sure it can be done in those as well. Now, question number 2. How do I get paid? How do people actually give me money? Basically, every way you could possibly think of to give someone money, almost. I am literally a neighborhood internet provider. Like, that's my neighborhood, and that's where all my subscribers are. So I have some that literally just come put a check in my mailbox. I have others that use Google Pay. I have people mail me checks. I have people, probably the majority of them even, use PayPal. It's probably how the most of them do it. And it's kind of my preferred way, even though the fees suck. Yeah, I guess check would technically be better, but whatever. I have one that does like an auto bill pay thing through her bank. Like money just shows up in mine. I'm like, okay, cool. I have another one that uses Venmo. I think that's about it. Yeah. The vast majority are PayPal and check. That's why I've been looking for a payment processor, because PayPal fees suck. That's definitely going to happen here probably sooner rather than later. Once I get the tower all built and everything all set up there and start signing people up again, I'll probably switch over. I'm going to go IP Pay. They are great people over there, and it's a really, really good service. Their fees aren't bad, all that kind of stuff. But it's another bill. It's something else that I would have to pay, and I don't want that right now. That's why I haven't done it yet in general. So it is going to happen. I got something in my eyeball. Ow. Shit. Nothing real fancy as far as how people give me money. It's just, they pay. As far as invoicing goes, I used to use UNMS. Now, me and UNMS are not exactly bros. UNMS is amazing. It is really, really good when it works. And the fact that it's free is kind of even more amazing. But I could not get it to work reliably to save my life. I don't blame UNMS. I blame the server that it was running on. I had it running on the server in the data center in a VM on Unraid. So it was kind of like a overcomplicated kind of thing. I think if it was just running on a server, it would be fine, but it wasn't, and it caused nothing but issues, and now I can't even log into the bastard. I encrypted the drive. I don't do cloud stuff, not yet at least, so I keep all data local. I don't even save any data anyway, but I wanted to, the little bit of data that was in there, I wanted it to be safe, and well, it was so safe I can't even get to it now. Used to use this for invoicing. You can actually have it set to do it automatically for you. You could do it manually. You could, whatever you want to do, it'll do it. It's actually a really, really good tool. Everything looks real nice. The way I did it, it just had like the invoice, the document itself, and then I embedded my PayPal link in there for payment, paypal.me/Winspear, and people would click it and pay, and poof. If I could just get people to uncheck the damn box so I don't get fees, it would be perfect. But for some reason, they just couldn't figure that out. So fees. Now, though, since UNMS is no more, in my case at least, I actually just send messages to people. I'd say maybe 20% of them just pay without me bugging them. Yeah, get ready for that if you start a WISP. You got to chase people around for money. About 20% of them pay without me asking. The other 40 to 50% probably somewhere around there. As soon as I send them a message, they pay, or they pay, shortly thereafter. And then there's that 10-20% left over that just pay whenever they feel like it. I've never turned anybody off, so I'm kind of nice as far as that goes. I haven't had anybody get like super belligerent with it. I do have one sub that hasn't paid since like freaking October of last year, but that's a bit of a outlier case. I don't really worry about that because it's one of my other subscribers' dads, and he like barely ever even uses it, if at all, anyway. And he's going through some tough times, and it's fine. But yeah, I send text messages and Facebook messages, and an email if need be. Some people don't do either of those, so I send them an email. Hey, it's that time of month again. It works. And then the third thing, static IPs. No, I do not offer static IPs. There's that. Technically being double natted, which is what they are, because they're NAT is network address translation. It's, how in your house you have your 192.168 address, and then on the outside you have your forward facing IP. Technically they're double natted because they're natted at my router, and then they're natted again at their wireless router in their house. And when I was starting all this, I was like, well, I can do it that way, but man, that's really going to cause some problems. It hasn't, though. We aren't in the, late 90s, early 2000s where we had to do port forwarding and all that kind of stuff on our router to get stuff to work. The majority of stuff now reaches out to another server, and you're actually connecting to that. It's kind of a NAT punch through kind of thing. So your security cameras, for instance, they're communicating out to the WAN already, and you're just connecting to that. Usually. Not always, but usually. So being double natted really doesn't matter. I haven't had anybody have any issues, knock on all the wood. So it's been kind of a moot point. No one's even asked about a forward-facing IP or a static IP or anything, and if they did, I'd tell them no. I would tell them no for two main reasons. One, setting all that up is a thing in and of itself that I don't really want to deal with. It's kind of a pain in the ass. I am not even real sure how I'd go about doing it to begin with, so yeah, no. And the other thing is cost. I'd have to buy more IP space, and I don't want to do that. So if anybody needs a forward-facing IP, I would tell them I can't do that. You're going to find somebody else. Now, I haven't had a single person complain yet, so hey, it works, right? But yeah, that's the basics for today. A couple of little questions I get asked all the damn time. I need to keep making these videos for questions I get asked all the time because, man, it gets old answering the same questions over and over again. Now I can just send them a link. Here, watch this. But yeah, that's it. So I made affiliate links. They are going to be down in the description. Use those. It'll go towards my build a tower / shed fund. If you're not going to use them, please use Streakwave because they are the best. They are awesome. We love the guys over at Streakwave. So yeah, from now on, it's either Streakwave or my affiliate links, and that's it. And be sure to join the Discord. Come hang out. Come chat. And for now, that's it. Later.